Hi guys, I'm here to talk to you about groupthink today. But before we really get into it, I kind of want to give you a real life example of what this might look like. So, on May 10th, 1996, two teams of climbers set out from Camp 4 to summit Mount Everest. Led by the respected New Zealander Rob Hall and American Scott Fisher, both teams were able to reach the summit, but soon faced disaster. Both Rob Hall and Scott Fisher were experienced Everest climbers and had teams consisting of themselves, two professional guides, local Sherpas, and 8 clients. Summiting no later than 2 o'clock would allow the climbers to return to Camp 4 safely before nightfall and avoid storms and decreased visibility. Supplemental oxygen tanks were carried by nearly every member of the party, but climbers were typically projected to run out of supplemental oxygen around 4 or 5 p.m. Delays caused both teams to lag behind schedule, and Scott Fisher didn't even summit until 3:45 p.m. By this time, most of the climbers had run out of oxygen and had to descend in a blizzard with 70-mile-per-hour winds and increasing darkness. A total of 8 fatalities occurred on Mount Everest that day, including expedition leaders Rob Hall and Scott Fisher. According to a few researchers, groupthink was likely the reason that this occurred. So now let's take a step back. What is groupthink? Well, according to a researcher named Irving Janis, groupthink is the mode of thinking that persons engage in when concurrent seeking becomes so dominant in a cohesive in-group that it tends to override realistic appraisal of alternative courses of action. She goes on to further state that there are 3 factors which influence groupthink. The first is relative isolation of the group from dissenting viewpoints. The second, a directive leader who signals what decisions he or she favors. And the third is an amiable or cohesive group. Or as Guzzo and Solis proposed, cohesion may also take the form of a commitment to a common task. So if we take a look again at directive leadership entails giving guidance in an unstructured environment when the follower is less experienced than the leader. If we look at our Everest example, we had the very experienced leaders, and then we had the very inexperienced clients that wanted to summit Everest. And that led to them not really questioning the safety guidelines. When it comes to a cohesive group, studies of a variety of task-oriented groups, such as teams, military squads, and expeditions, find that when asked to describe their team's cohesiveness, members really stress the quality of their group's ability to perform as a unit. Now, let's take a look at current research, specifically research in the church. Religious groups have a set of rituals such as testimonies, prayers, and tithing. A person who wishes to join that group must abide by these rules. Members of a church or other religious groups often have a larger social support network than people not affiliated with them. This may allay feelings of loneliness and give a sense of conduciveness. Studies also show that groupthink shrinks other possible ways of solving problems. Specifically, in Abu Ghraib, someone came up with a very bad idea in a group, and everyone thought it was a bad idea, but no one spoke out, because they thought they were the only ones against it. Because those guards knew if they spoke out, they would be subjected to insult and abuse. Instead of honoring groupthink resistors, society tends to subject them with cruel treatment. The administration reflected a group mind demonstrating many qualities of groupthink. Whatever was necessary, including torture or violating the Geneva Accords, the system authorized it. However, these guards were answering to a higher authority, just as the guards in the Holocaust. So there's a differentiation between responsibility and intent. There is no feeling of responsibility if one's simply doing their duty, as defined by one's superiors, which is an important obligation to any soldier. The symptoms of groupthink traditionally have been treated as part of a single process, associated with poor decision-making in groups. In one study, the symptoms of groupthink was shown as reflecting 2 distinct processes that vary depending on the confidence individuals have in the decision favored by the group. It's further argued that past research using qualitative approaches may produce an illusory correlation among the groupthink symptoms, because of the retrospective sense-making occurring when individuals have evidence that they have made a mistake, a poor decision. Experiments providing support for each of these contentions were actually performed in this study as well. So in conclusion, let's just take a quick look back at our example back on Mount Everest. Although the head guide structured the expedition, groupthink was responsible for the complete disregard of the 2 o'clock turnaround time. The shared nature of the decision can be linked to the cohesive commitment to summit Everest and the directive leaders who blatantly disregarded safety guidelines. The closed-mindedness and isolation of the group, compounded with the pressure of uniformity to achieve their goals, resulted in the deaths of 2 experienced guides and multiple clients. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.